Got it. The levels you need to triage the market vitals, marketvitals.io, HFR from the floor, mistrade Matt Davio, Lions fan. And,
how many times can you wear this proudly? Like that greatest game ever yesterday, greatest game. I mean, in a day full of great comebacks.
I got to tell you, the NFL I've thought has been the league of mediocrity. Yesterday, they stepped up their offering. There were great games all over the place.
Yeah, there were.
And
and you and I, got to laugh. You were dancing on me when you were up 14 points, and I said, "Oh," and then you missed that second extra point. I said, "That's going to come back to bite you. Your Lions are going to win." I said that to you, and you just laughed just like that. It was great.
And then wait a second. So we pushed because the Lions won, right? But I made the over/under Justin Fields rushing 130. You hammered the under like ferociously, hitting it like hitting that event contract. Yep. And amazingly, 140 something.
Well,
Justin Fields.
Let me just. I gotta confirm that you won the bet.
You're right, because he might have gotten sacked.
He was getting sacked he was getting sacked at the end. Let me hold on a second. I gotta confirm.
Hold all tickets.
I don't know.
The game has gone to a photo. We've gone to a photo finish.
We're going to the photo finish.
Hold all tickets.
Hold on, 147 yards. That 67-yarder was ridiculous.
Bingo. After he threw the worst interception pick six ever. But I don't know who played worse, him or Josh Allen. When you come right down to it.
Yeah.
If you lose, you played worse. That's all there is to it.
Even Jared Goff beat him, for God's sake. Jared Goff had 236 yards, no interceptions. So, Justin Fields he contributed 4 though he got all 4 of the Bears points, touchdowns. 2 running, 2 throwing. So, like you said, he's not going to last long, but you really can't complain about his performance, right?
No, absolutely not. Matt, you were 3-3-1 in college. You cooled. The Iceman has cometh. I mushed you 2 weeks ago, and it's just. It's
typical. You get into the deep end of the season, these lines are good. They're right there, and I think that 3-3-1 is. When I look at my games, Tennessee won easily, and it wasn't looking easy, but they won by like 40. It was a 17-point line. Illinois gets beat at home to Purdue. Go figure. LSU pushes. Georgia Tech gets smashed by Miami, just smashed, and they were favored by 1. Iowa wins, and they won pretty handily against Wisconsin. Baylor just got smashed. They were favored. They got smashed at home by Kansas State. And then UNC, my boy Drake May comes in again. I think this kid, if nothing comes from this story, as I've been telling you the last couple of weeks, now everybody knows who he is. But they beat Wake flat out, and they were getting points. So again, UNC moving to 9-1, the best team in the ACC right now.
All right, and we have
Drake May. If he had an Alabama jersey, he would be the Heisman. Yeah. If he had a Michigan jersey, he would be the Heisman. If he had an Ohio State jersey, he would be the Heisman. But guess what? He's wearing a Tar Heel jersey, and it's not basketball season. Well, it is, and UNC is number 1 also. So maybe he should hop over and maybe.
I bet he plays pretty good basketball too.
Yeah, probably does.
All right, man. I wanted to share this. The reason why UFC is exciting. And it goes right back to this, Matt. These type of fights. Tommy Hitman Hearns, Roberto Duran, and just ferociousness.
The Duran Hagler.
God, I loved it.
Hearns, trifecta. Those guys, man, they were great.
Look at that, right? Oh,
and they both beat each other a couple times, So they were brawls. Those were brawls, dude.
Just fucking nonstop action, and these guys just get up. That's all right. I haven't had enough. I want to get up.
I haven't had enough.
I don't know. I thought I'd bring that in. Bring it in.
Gosh,
I
I
want
mean, as a kid, man, we look forward to those fights, right? I mean, because those were,
for sure.
I
Tommy
mean,
Hitman Hearns, 70 Sports. They also
the,
write great headlines or great filler.
yeah, the
To-
Motor City, the Motor City Hitman. I mean, he was great. God,
Tommy Hitman Hearns versus Roberto Andrade had never been knocked out in 82 pro fights until this. Listen to the right hand at 46 seconds. It sounds like a fucking gunshot. Just when you're ninth row deep in a stadium and you can still hear it, like,
yeah,
whoa,
that's the real deal.
unbelievable. All right, Matt, speaking of gunshots, there's a cum shot, but I'm going to go to here. Elon, Matt, we talk about the breaking news of the elites trusting each other more and more. And apparently they're eating each other now.
Well, it's interesting because I sent you that one on Saturday morning, but apparently you're giving Elon the credit, even though he just put it on.
Are you telling? Wait a second. Are you telling me you made the graphic?
No, I didn't make it, but I sent it to you Saturday morning. Is all I'm saying.
Okay.
So,
and I saw Zero Hedge. I don't know who made it. I don't know who made the graphic.
yeah, I don't remember who did it either. But
anyway, it seems that there's a fairly convoluted paper trail going on here. And a beautiful thing is, I think it will all get unwound here. It will. Matt says, "Wait, not so fast," but there is so much to it.
These guys, whoever these, like Chappelle said Saturday night, whoever they are, they're good. Whoever they are.
This was shared by Dave Collum, the curmudgeon Cornell professor. Another just list of the intertwined nature of this company. So that was only 4 players there, but this points out a lot of other. The family aunt, Linda Fried, a WEF member, Global Agenda on Aging Council. The best one, though, is the chief regulator officer, FDX, Dan Friedberg, was previously lawyer at Ultimate Bet. And Stuart Hogner, general counsel at Bitfinex Tether, was previously director of compliance at Xcapsa, which was responsible for the Ultimate Bet poker software, where I believe, Matt, it's a lot easier to play Hold'em if you know what everybody else's cards are at the table. And I only say that because it's a big reason why I said they were such pigs, right? Because they could have just been the market maker, know where everybody's orders are, and make a lot of money forever.
Yep.
We don't know where all the money went. It seems that it's all gone. $9 billion with $900 million that was supposedly there at the end. Too many, it's like Charlie in Always Sunny in Philadelphia with the strings tied up and.
Well, I was saying to you when we were watching the game yesterday, seriously, like the spider web is just like, it would be fascinating. Like and I'm sure somebody's working on it somewhere, right? They got somebody
better be working on it, or the Republic is lost. That's all
I do think that is true. Also, I think the Republic has been lost. I do. I mean, I think the bigger story here is forget about that diversion. Because whatever happens there, we won't really have anything to do with it. And whether or not justice is served, talk to the Justice Department, but they don't seem to be all over it. It's not front page. So I'm going to go, nope, not going to happen. If it was Trump.
Well, I don't know. I mean, they
no. If it was,
yeah,
it would be, oh my God, Orange Man again. I mean, Orange Man never has done anything like this. He hasn't taken money from one guy who was, doing this, but I mean, this stuff, I don't know.
I don't know. It leads in a lot of places.
I don't see it happening, Bob. I just don't. I think these guys are so good at covering and scamming and all. I mean, the big story is, how did Saturday night all the elections flipped? Nevada all of a sudden became a red state or blue state. So the Senate is now solidly Democratic again.
Yeah, but that's not important if the Republicans take the House. And
well, I said that's still not done either. So there's plenty of time still for the Democrat. There's still plenty of time. I said they're going to win it all. So I'm so far 1 for 2, and I think there's still time for the blue team to win on the House side too.
All right. Well, the elites, Matt.
They can eat themselves, but they're going to
Speaking of eating themselves, I think it's a little bit more level of a playing field going forward. I would hope. Anyway, Musk says, or Bezos said that he's going to give all his money away, and Musk tweeted, "Yeah, he's invested in Tesla." So that's not necessarily giving his money away. But two things on that front for price discovery. First of all, Amazon saying that they're going to lay off many workers going forward. And you would think that that would not be news that you would hear coming into the giving season, Matt. So let's bring up Amazon and take a look at it. And then we're going to go to FedEx and UPS and maybe Tesla also, as he's a recipient, Tesla, a recipient of Bezos's charm.
Yeah, well, again, I don't know when they announced the layoffs. Was that today?
I don't know. I don't have that information. Lee, when did they announce it? Let's get the production truck involved.
Anyways, listen, everything's up, nothing's selling off. So why would anything? I mean, we're down $1.50, which is 1.5%. The Nasdaq is basically flat now for the day. The SPOs are green. I think Amazon, yeah, and then you wanted to look at FedEx.
Wait a second. Fractal out on Amazon a little bit. Let's take a longer term view here of Amazon. Let's round it out.
I mean, again, we got down last week to 85s, and I don't know, this thing 80, by the way, 81 was the low. So yeah, we got down to about 85, 87. And I don't know why this thing isn't populating for me here, but it's not. So you're gonna have to.
The man is lost without a profile population. He's lost. No
but
idea.
I would bet, in the longer term chart, it's probably up there. Let's just there we go. So it came into balance. It came into balance, kind of here, and we talked about that. So that was, there's a lot of people interested in buying it here, as they were in 2020. So 2020 they saw it go to 190. So they think it can happen again. But the reality is, unless the government starts printing like they did in 2020, that we're not going to see those numbers again, unless the government prints again. But again, we're in an upside down world, and I think there's going to be, I do think at some point, probably after the first quarter, we'll see a new low in the markets, and then after that, I think we'll rally, and I do think we're going to take out 5,000 on the S&P. I do, and I'll continue saying that. But I think we may have to go test 3 first before we do that. But and I think that, the next earnings season is going to be difficult. We've already talked about that. So I see that continuing. What else did you want to look at? FedEx?
FedEx said they're, I'm not sure if it was straight layoffs, but I know they've been in the news in the same genre. Yeah. UPS also not hiring near what the holiday staff that they usually hire.
Again, that they announced that back here when we fell from wherever this was 205 down here to the 137. Again, found some support, as it should have, here in the profile at that that 140 area, and whatever it was, 130 or 144, and it bounced. And again, I don't know. I mean, gets into this hole up in here as it's starting to. I mean, stranger things have happened. We could see a rally easily up to 215 to 240. But I don't really want to buy it in here. So I'd sell it if it got back up there. You can buy calls, you can buy deep in the money 140 calls for sure. If I was going to buy it, that's how I would do this stock. Like I would pin the tail on, any type of pullback that we get in the market, if we ever get a pullback in this market, because the last 3 days we're up, 10% basically, and the market does not pull back. We got PPI tomorrow. And then, but it's weird. Like Microsoft is down big today. It was down like over $5. Now it's come back though. So, again, this market is resilient right now. And I think a lot of it is just the lack of liquidity. It's very thin. It's very thin out there right now. And, as we get one day every week closer to the holiday, it's just going to get thinner and less volatile. And I think we're just going to continue to kind of grind higher.
Are you saying that we should take the rest of the year off?
Yeah, I just think I think we're going to grind higher right now because there's nothing to take it down unless unless a smart bomb or something, some of these things happen that are, geopolitically, I just don't see much changing there,
Bingo. All right, let me share, Matt, because I want to share a chart, and we talked about it on the way in. All right, and again, this is not a chart, right? This is not a tradable chart, intraday for sure. But that being said, Matt, one reason why I see that a continued bear market rally, and this is, you have to understand that where this market was, where it went to, that this bear market rally is going to be like nothing anybody's ever seen before, because what it did prior to it was like nothing anybody's ever seen before. When you look at how far this thing went on all of that money, you have to understand that all that money just doesn't come out overnight, right? This is going to slosh around. And now this is a quarterly chart of the NASDAQ. And it's basically been positive with a little bit of negative slope. I talk about minding the slope all the time in standard deviation modeling, especially on your shorter term, but it holds true for the longer term charts also. And since the dot-com washout, it has only been negative one time, and that was the 08-09 financial crisis. And it was only negative for 3 quarters.
Well,
right?
Yeah.
3 quarters, and now it's been positive the whole way, and it's still positive. Remember that, it's still positive. So the quarterly average in the NASDAQ is 12,140. I think longer term players, if we can get that further run here in this last quarter of 2022. My point is, it takes time to change the slope of these things. You can see that upper band is fully rounding right now, and any kind of negative action first quarter next year is going to kick that thing south, which becomes much more negative, and it's nothing that we've had before. I just want to keep pointing that out. That it's 20 years basically of positive momentum in this market on a long-term chart. Now on the monthly, we have fully rolled them over. All right, we have fully rolled them over, but look at where it could go to and just test the opposite momentum. We're taking out the lower momentum. The opposite momentum is 15,000 in the NASDAQ. I mean, people will be screaming, this is an incredible bull market that is ensuing here. Yet on the monthly, it's just testing the bear market level on the momentum modeling. Now that's nuance and it's long term, but I cannot wrap my head around how things are going to be great next year. I just can't wrap with all of these things that are going on.
I'm saying after the first quarter dump, which I do think is going to come. So again, I'm not saying now's the time to be, long for that new high. I think that will come after another sell-off. I do. So, but where, could we go to 4,200, 4,100? Yeah. 4,300? Sure.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Like before that happens even,
Yes.
I mean, why not? Because we just did 10% in 3 days. The NASDAQ was 10.8 and now it's 11.8. That's 1,000 points. It's close enough to 10% for me. It's not quite there, but it's close enough. That's 3 days, Bob. 3 days of partying. But that also should give you pause. That should give you pause. That should give you pause because it's a very illiquid, thin market. Is what that tells me, right? Everybody was obviously trapped down there, thinking CPI. Again, cognitive dissonance is powerful, and everybody came in there too negative, too telegraphed. Too many retail shorts, too many hedge fund shorts, bad hedge fund shorts. They were all late.
Let me share it again, Matt, with the S&Ps. All right, because while the NASDAQ is just trying to recapture its quarterly average, the SPUs are in fact above that and trying to recapture its quarterly momentum.
Right.
All right, and that momentum level comes in at 43.31, which was basically last quarter's high also.
Yeah.
Again, these bands have not turned south yet. They have not rolled over on the longest term chart that I look at. The quarterly has not rolled over, but on the monthly it has. All right, we got negative slope on the monthly, and to recapture its average, it's like 42. What is it? 41.82 would be that monthly average. 41.82. You got to keep these things in mind. And obviously it's not an intraday tradable thing, but you're building a mosaic on time frames, right? You're building a mosaic on time frames, long to short, short to long. The if-then statement you got to keep repeating it in your head. And you have to be able to change your trading mentality and your trading positioning when those if-thens change.
Right.
That's all there is to it. That's the way you do it.
Exactly.
That's the way you do it.
That's
Money.
the way.
Money for nothing and the chicks for free. Matt, the other thing I wanted to talk about, and we're just getting into this. They've been around for a while, but they're basically event contracts or binary options, basically. And we're just starting to dabble with these. You can go to the CME Group webpage, cmegroup.com, to take a look at it. We were talking yesterday, Matt, how you were saying, there's just not a good trade for me right here. And I proposed that possibly, especially as you get towards the end of the, or middle of the day here, the event contract might be something worthwhile to take a look at. It appears to me that these things settle at 0 or 20. And that's your risk. You have no more risk than it's with money or against money. The event contract is set up. Today's the NASDAQ is, will the NASDAQ settle above 11,800? And it's just a with and against, against money. I don't know. It's just something
Again,
to think about.
I don't know much about them, Bob. I've never traded them. They're available on the CME, as you said. I know Interactive says they offer them, but I can't find the symbols. So,
hey, who's out there expert at Interactive broker front end that can guide us a little bit here? Where is that event contract?
Well, I would like to see how it operates and where the bid ask is and how you do it. I just can't even look at it. So I would like to show it here on the show, but I have not been able to, and I haven't had time since we just started talking about that yesterday. So you get on that, you let me know. Figure it out.
No.
I'm just saying, according to Interactive Brokers, I'm looking at their website. They've got the CME event contracts and I can show them here. But when I go to Interactive or Trading View for that matter, just to see if I can find the contract, these are there's basically one for the euro, oil, SPOs, gold,
silver, right?
HG is copper, right?
Copper. Yeah. Copper.
So copper's got one, natural gas has one, NASDAQ, Russell 2000, silver, and the Dow. So it's weird that they throw in the copper. That's a strange one to me, but hey.
Since we said copper, why don't we look at natural gas, man?
Since we said copper.
Yeah.
Well, oil, like I said, was green earlier, and it just got smoked. And same thing's happening with natural gas. It was up big today, and it was back up here to 640. Now it's all the way back here to 603. Still up big. I mean, this is what people don't understand. I mean, that's still a 3% gain from where we were Friday. And I think we were talking about this. The pullback, that we saw back here again to the fives was a good area. And I mean, if you reloaded on that trade after, again, we suggested taking some profits into that $7 level. Well, now you came back to an area where this kind of looks good again. I mean, as long as we kind of hold that 550 level, and we can, we did it like 3 or 4 times, where they tested it last week. So this pullback in here looks pretty good. I think you could probably pick some up.
Let me share also, since we were sharing natural gas, and we talked about this before. Again, another way to play these things is the calendar spread. This is FJ, Jan, April. And again, if you're bullish natural gas, you want to be long this spread. You want to be long the front. And it's trading 163, was out to nearly 220 last week. And I agree with you. As long as it can hold, you can pick them up anywhere between here on 150. You got a real clear risk reward here, as it really shouldn't close below 150 if natural gas in this calendar spread is going to be bullish. And if you can pick it up and we can recapture and change the slope on this momentum modeling. It was already all the way out at 420. No pun intended. On a bong rip basis. But when natural gas went to the moon, this spread went out to 420. So that's giving you some, the idea of the potential in the trade, right? 180. You pick them up here at 160. As this thing evolves in a bullish story, that's likely where it would go on explosive strength. Kind of like my inside pass rush, explosive strength.
No, that would be Hutchinson wrapping up.
Dude, he was the goal line play was one of the best defensive plays I've seen this year, where he just crashed. Nobody touched him. He obviously has been playing long enough to know that it's a run the other way, and he catches the guy at the line of scrimmage. It's fantastic, a fantastic play. The he's playing well. And
I mean, he's got to be up there for the rookie of the year. I would imagine, with the number of sacks he's already posted, and he's worth every penny that they gave him, for sure, as long as he stays healthy and strong. That some of those training videos that we saw him do last year at Michigan with his the Turkish barbell lifting and all those crazy things, and he's a heck of a player.
Reminds me of me.
I mean, he does.
Who do we got tonight? Monday night?
Oh, we got the Commanders, or AKA the Redskins, versus the Eagles. So it should be quite I think this is the double digits again. Philly. This is the bet. That's the only bet that we have. It's the only double digit this week, as we talked about. So
Eagles minus 11.
Minus 11 at home. Is it a trip up game? Every game's a trip up game when you're 8-0. So. In the NFL, as we saw yesterday, there was a lot of strange things happening. I mean, the Colts came back and beat the Raiders, Cowboys, again, Packers.
Victory Monday for the Colts. I like that. Did you hear that? What does Victory Monday mean? Is like you show up on Wednesday. You get a couple of days off if you win. You want to talk about motivating guys to win. Like if we win, I don't got to show up to work. Okay, let's do some winning then. Winning.
By the way, we're taking out Friday's highs in the spoos here, so all is good.
All right. Anything else, man? Anything else on a Monday?
Well, I'm telling you, as it's happening, we got new highs. Everybody's cranking, and things are good here.
Yeah,
it's super thin, super light volume, and again, we got PPI tomorrow morning. We got some European and Canadian data coming Thursday. We got Fed chit chat as usual later in the week, Thursday. So I just think, again, don't fight City Hall right now until something happens. I think let it drift higher. I think, or wait for a pullback. But again, we haven't, we go up 10%. We don't pull back. There's no such thing. The machines are back on again. I mean, you can tell when this happens and the machines are on. Whoever runs that out, whoever they are, one way. It's a one-way market, either up or down. And this is 500 points up now since the low that we called in mid-October, and we're 1 month into it. I think we got another month. I don't think it's going to be another 10%, but from here, I don't think we're going to get
for sure. As we've just pointed out on the retest of momentums on the monthly, and the test of the momentum and the average on the quarterly, there's plenty of room on the upside. Do not fight City Hall here.
Yeah.
Let me just point out also that those two long time frames are still the quarterly we haven't rounded, but the monthly and the weekly for sure. But when you fractal in, this is looking healthier. The daily is fully in up momentum with kicked standard deviation modeling to the upside. So you're fighting City Hall right now on the daily and the shorter time frame.
Well, and again, watching the dollar, right? We talk about it all the time, but the dollar is your indicator. And again, the dollar today opened higher, it gapped higher. Pre-market got up here to 107, and it's just been selling all day. So when that sells, they buy. And although we're not making new lows, there's a little divergence here, is what I'm saying. So be careful chasing after you've had a 10% run in the SPOOs and the NASDAQ, but be aware that the dollar weakness is what is driving the rush into U.S. equities. So this should continue to be the indicator that you're watching along with bonds right now. It's not VIX that is moving the market. It is
yeah,
the
exactly.
dollar. It's the dollar. It's the dollar and the bonds and how interest rate products are building and reacting. And interestingly enough, today again the bonds are down, but it's and I'm trying to just get to that chart here real quick to show you ZB, but they're not down huge. I mean, down six ticks. They were down a little bit further, but again,
well, what's interesting to me when I look at the daily on the bond chart is the argument is right at the October, the September low from the 28th of September, and then they revisited those lows October 7th, and we're right back into that area, building time and volume and an argument.
yeah.
In that
Kind of the
area.
same thing here, right? They made their lows off the open Sunday, so the bonds gapped down, and that's held. Like we tested it, you could argue 2 or 3 times. Even this one got close, but we're just in the same tight range we were in. This is Sunday. This is this, and again, so there's just not this is the Sunday trade. This was the low, or excuse me, this was the low on Sunday. This was the Friday trade. So not much has happened in these 2 days as far as the bonds are concerned. We made a new low, but haven't, the high from Friday is still in place, which was up here at 124.05. So we're not far from either extreme, and this bracket needs to resolve itself one way or the other here. So I would watch these things again. Dollar and are kind of driving it. If you have not been on board, post CPI that first day and you didn't buy when that thing gapped, it's hard to chase. It's for this trader, this one, I can't chase something that's up 10% in an index, right? We're talking the entire market. We're talking, the top 100 NASDAQ companies are up 10%. That's not normal. And it's not because of, any great earnings. There's nothing there. It's just everybody was short. So until that resolves itself, you got to be careful.
Yeah, and
if you want to buy, if you're looking for levels to buy, then those exist. But for me, today I would give a shot maybe at 11.4 on the NASDAQ, somewhere down in that level if we traded there today. But that's 460 points from where we are today.
Sometimes it's good to wait, Matt. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I can't, I was long for a big chunk of this, and I got long at the CPI number, like after the first 200 points, right? So, I got long, probably somewhere around 11.3 or whatever it was, 11.2 something. And I didn't get the first half. So again, I'm out of that trade now, and I don't really see, there's not a lot of pretty charts out there right now for me. So you got to pause. But if you're looking at 2 weeks though, you got to look at the 2 week, this is kind of like the 2 week mark. And again, somewhere down in here, 11.4. Yeah. If we could get down there, that would be fine.
Well, PPI might give you the opportunity.
Yeah. Maybe tomorrow at 5:30, everybody, I think everybody's kind of buying right now and expecting another 10% move. I mean, there's no surprise, like, inflation is going to be lower, right? So yeah, what if it's just a little higher than they expected? Do we come off 3 or 4%? Maybe.
We shall see. All right,
see.
get your rest, because that's an early number here on the West Coast to be at the con for sure.
Yep.
But that's what we got. Please visit us at marketvitals.io. Please share, retweet, plagiarize. Why not? Let's call for a little plagiarization. And Matt, I wanted to share, just as we leave here, I talk about Shrimp Mojo all the time, Matt. And I just want to show you that I just ordered some more. I know you need a little bit. I'll be cutting up this pound. I'll be selling ounces here on the street corner in Bend. Just that street level dealer of rub. I also need a new pool, a spa filter. But just so you see there. Yeah. I talk about it all the time because it's the best. And I also, I just arriving Friday. Hopefully we get it a little earlier than Friday. Shrimp Mojo, buy it.
It's the
Visit
stuff. It's the
Amazon.
Stuff. It's the stuff you need.
Hey, help Bezos out a little bit. That's all I'm saying. Order Shrimp Mojo from Amazon and help my partner. He is my partner. Jeff Bezos, my partner, Manja TV's partner, as we sell the rub exclusively at Amazon.com. Thank you, Matt.
New highs. New highs.
New highs. Thank you. The don't. Look at him. Look at the don't.
There's just nothing to do.
Look at the don't. There's a don't face right there.
Well,
All
we got to
right.
get higher. We got to get higher to resell, and we got to get lower to rebuy. So, I mean, as a trader, that's what you go ahead, buy the dips, or you momentum players keep chasing it. I mean, those are your options right now.
All right. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Lee.
Thank you, Lee. Thank you, Mark. Have a great day.